What is going on, everybody? Sorry for this vlog type intro. I was trying to edit my the podcast for this week, and I forgot that I didn't do an intro. So this is gonna be a little quick intro of me trying to make some announcements. So, number one announcement: y'all let me know if y'all want me to do like a vlog, like a day in the life type of thing. Stop what you're doing right now. You can pause the video, drop a comment in there, yes or no, if you want me to do like a vlog, like going to the gym, seeing what I do at the gym and stuff. And I don't know, I think it might be fun. We'd have to make a new YouTube account about that. Number two, I'm a vice president for a truck club called Central Florida Exclusive. This is one of our shirts, but we're doing a show tomorrow. When the time you come out, it'll be the next day, so Saturday. It will be, her name is Shania. She has cystic fibrosis, and entry fee will be $10. You can make donations, but all the money will go to her. I'll pop it up somewhere on the screen so everybody knows. But I'll try to see if there's like a GoFundMe or something, and also put that up on there. We just want to support her in any way possible. But anybody can come out, anybody can make a donation. It'd be greatly appreciated. Pray for her, just stuff like that. 214 subscribers. Whoa, my voice cracked. 214 subscribers, so shout out to y'all for that. I think that's about it. Follow the Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, join the Discord. Y'all can talk in the Discord and stuff. Listen to us on Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe. You already got something to comment on, so if you don't know what to comment, you comment yes or no about me doing like a little vlog. Sorry for the blanket. We have to cover it up because we have dogs with dog hair, and it'll get all over these couches and sofas. So you gotta go Gators. So I just keep moving it around. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know what to do, man. I gotta get back to editing, so let's get into the podcast. Alright, and the next guest on the Yeah I Know It podcast is none other than my mom, Kelley Music.
Woo, hey.
Ooh, Mom, how you feel to be on the podcast?
Nervous.
Yeah, you nervous? I'm nervous every time I do it.
Why?
I don't know.
You're getting to be a pro.
No, I get nervous and I always get tripped up at the intro. I just did a minute ago. But, thank you for kind of filling in. I was trying to get somebody else on the podcast. Shout out to Deshoy. Hopefully we can do it for next week. But I completely forgot about it over the weekend. So I texted you and you were down to do it.
Yeah.
So
I was actually wondering when you were going to ask me.
Well, yeah, you had said something to me about it at the family reunion.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like, I'll let you know we're doing one. And then we never did it. So I was like, hey, you trying to do the podcast today?
Well, had nothing else to do.
All right, so let's get right into it. Kind of explain your life growing up.
My life growing up.
Yeah, so how was that?
Well, my life was pretty good, to be honest. Like, I was an only child. That had its pros and its cons.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're the only kid, so.
Spoiled.
Not always. Mm-hmm. Not always. I can't say they did that always. I mean, sometimes they did, but, I never had to share a lot of stuff because I didn't have anybody to share anything with. But it had its lonely times, though, because you were the only one.
Exactly.
So you didn't have anybody, like, to buddy up with. So thank God I had, like, 3 girl cousins.
Yeah.
And they, lived in the same town and lived with us oftentimes. And so they were like my sisters, like growing up. Good. So at least I had that to do. But I was born and raised in Fort Meade, lived there, graduated, still living there. God, I don't know if I'm ever going to leave. Now your dad's got that shop, so we definitely ain't going nowhere.
No, he lives in that shop.
Man, I hate that.
That's the worst thing y'all could have done.
I know. And the thing is like, I'm like, when are you going to start charging people to do work? And he's like, I just feel like, I'm helping people out, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, what? Like, we're missing out on
we're
some
paying
money.
For this.
Yeah, like electric, tools. And no, I just want to help people out. I'm like, oh, okay,
Time.
whatever.
No, yeah, he lives in that shop. And
yeah.
Kelley, now that she's the only child,
yeah.
she's getting spoiled. She's 15, got a truck. She got the lift put on the truck. Because you didn't have a vehicle
at 15?
I didn't get my lift put on.
You had a car at 15.
I did.
So then what you like?
And then we sold it about a month afterwards.
That's because you didn't want it, and it cost a lot of money to fix BMWs.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's not that I didn't want it; it's because it was very expensive.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy.
So yeah, your life was pretty average. Good growing up.
I wasn't involved in sports. That was not my go-to.
No.
I was not a cheerleader.
So
never had that attitude of like.
Old.
I was never hyper.
Yeah.
You know, like
You're
some
not
cheerleaders.
hyper now.
Well, a lot of cheerleaders, they're just very outgoing people.
Very, yeah.
I was quiet. I just kept to myself, did my thing. I did raise cows. Like, I raised steers. That was fun. So, other than that, not really a whole lot.
Okay. And then I think you were still in high school when you had Nathan.
I did. Well.
So you were young having kids.
I was. I graduated in May and had Nathan in August. So yeah, I was pregnant my senior year.
Oh wow.
That was fun.
I bet. And
that was
for
fun.
Dad,
being an
Dad
only
was
kid.
16, right?
Yeah, man, he was a baby.
You cradle robber.
Like whatever. I hate that.
People call Brooke that all the time.
I can't stand that. Age ain't nothing but a number. But yeah, I got pregnant my senior year, and being an only child from a pretty reputable family.
Yeah.
People talked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was like, oh, look at her, she's pregnant.
One of them music boys.
Yeah, it was a bunch of shenanigans, but I was real sick with him. I think maybe that was just like, I don't know. It was crazy, but it was worth it now.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was always the type that I really didn't care what people had to say. I mean, I did, you know, because we all care what people have to say, but
just didn't really let it phase you like that.
No, like, I was pretty headstrong. I think that was because that's the way Nina and Papa raised me.
Yeah.
You know, so, but anyway, but yeah, we started out pretty young and not knowing what to do.
Pretty young. Y'all, you were 25 when you had me, right?
25?
I'll be 20 in April. So 20 years ago. How old were you?
Oh, I was 24.
So 24, 25.
Yeah, and now you just told my age to everybody.
Actually, you did. But you're not that old, and you don't look your age, so you're all right.
Whatever.
But, yeah, so you had 3 kids, and then Kelley came along 3 years afterwards. Mm-hmm. So, what, 27, and you got 4 kids?
Yeah.
How's that? Because Nathan's just now 25, and he got his first one.
Yeah. Again, pros and cons. So, like, being young is stressful.
Yeah.
Because you don't know everything. You haven't even lived your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think, too, like, if I would have waited till I was so much older.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't been able to, like, relate.
I was going to say relationship could have been a little bit different.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have known like certain things as well maybe because times have changed like so much and progressed, you know, even in 25 years. But I think that being young was cool. It was what I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
I think it's also cool because y'all were watching us growing up, but we were also watching y'all grow up at the same time. That's kind of cool.
And you get to learn things. Like, you guys have learned a lot, you know, because we were young and you watched us struggle, you know, through different things. And so now y'all kind of know, you know, like what to do and what not to do. And it's more relatable, I think. But every family's different.
Man, I forgot my peanut. Actually, I didn't forget my peanut. Nina, I'm sorry. One of my dogs ate my peanut.
Wow.
So...
Always blaming the dogs.
No, it was the dogs. Brooke came home. Or I got home and the dogs ate your peanut. And I was like, oh, great. Now my Nina's going to be disappointed in me.
She's not gonna be. She'll just get you another one.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, she does it.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
it actually did help me a lot because
give you something to play with.
John O'Neill was the world's worst. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I was talking about my peanut, and he's sitting over there
rubbing the couch. Yeah, anything to like keep you calm, like keep you focused.
Yeah, I don't know. I do need another peanut, Nina.
I think Papa probably has a peanut or a tomato or something that's in the crop industry.
I think he has a tomato.
Yeah, he probably does.
I remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, skip forward a few years, when Dad went to jail, how did that affect you?
Oh.
Because that left you lonely having to take care of all of us.
Yeah. And y'all were... Well, Nathan was 15 when your dad left, turned 16 that year.
Yeah.
So that would have put Caden at 14.
Yeah.
So already automatically 2 teenage boys. Which is really hard to be raising when you're a female.
Yeah.
You know. And then you were probably like 11.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. And Kelley was in kindergarten. She was 5. Well, I relied on your dad. Your dad was the moneymaker of the house.
Yeah. He's
the one that worked, and I chose to stay home and raise you guys because 4 kids in daycare is not feasible.
No.
So anyway, so I stayed home and raised y'all. And when he left, and went, that was hard.
Yeah.
Because I had to put on almost like a front, sort of, that to y'all. Because like my main focus and everything was him and y'all. Like, I just kind of took a step back and was like, okay, I got to do it. So I had to keep him calm, you know, because he's worried about how are the kids.
Yeah.
You know, what are they doing? And he was a teenage boy at 16.
Exactly, yeah.
He knew what was going on, but now he was away.
Yeah,
so
now they don't have a dad to be able to.
Right. You know, so anyway, so I had to be mom and dad, and that can be rough with some teenage boys. Trying to be dad.
Yeah.
But I think they handled it pretty good, but, you know, all y'all did.
Yeah.
You know, you had your moments, you know, but I pulled away from society, really. I pulled away from a lot of friends, the public, pretty much, because, like, you know, your dad was, like, publicly humiliated.
Yeah, he was on the news, wasn't he?
Radio station.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, so in order to kind of sort of like protect my peace, I had to shut out the world and just focus on him and you guys.
Yeah.
Making sure your routine was not changed. You went to school. You came home. We ate dinner the same time we always did. We said our prayer the same time we always did.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to me how y'all got into, we all went to the living room and at like a 9 o'clock, I think it was, for bed. And then we knew that when he was in his cell, and we would look to the north and he would look to the south, and we would all pray at the same time. I always thought that was cool.
Yep. So anyway, I think, you know, the worst one that probably, like, it affected so far as, like, you kids was your sister.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was, like, she would, like, scream, you know, like, I want my daddy, and daddy, please come home, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there was
like,
one time
God.
I heard when y'all went to visitation, and he was walking down, and then y'all were walking this way, because that's happened to us before, and then y'all kind of just walk into the building together, but you're not allowed to, like, touch them or nothing. And Kelley went like, Dad, and she wanted to, like, go give him a hug, and they kind of like,
yeah, they were like,
no, you got to get off.
Which I always tried to keep her, like, away from him, you know, because she didn't understand.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old that's never been through anything like that does not understand that. So she could not comprehend, like, why dad left.
Yeah.
So anyway, trying to keep on top of all that, along with making sure, like, we didn't lose our house, you know, and I had to sell a vehicle and, you know, things like, and thank God we had supportive people in our family.
Yeah, for sure.
That carried us right on through that, you know, so my main focus was just like, I have to. You know, I mean, I guess I could have been like, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to wait around. I'm not, you know what I mean? But I just chose that y'all were the most important people to me to protect.
Yeah.
I had my moments. It was lonely. It was sad. It was heartbreaking, you know, because I fought so hard to keep him from something happening.
Yeah.
You know, but all along, it's like God has a plan.
Yeah, for sure. He'll do what he needs to do to get somebody's attention.
You know, and I had to get to a place where I was like, okay, God, like, do whatever you have to do, you know, in this situation to protect all of us and to save his life.
Yeah.
Like, because if he'd have kept going, like...
It was bad. When he was on the podcast, he was saying, like, how much it was and stuff like that. I didn't know it was that bad.
It was real bad. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened that went on that he was just like, he was so out there, you know, but I hid all that stuff from y'all, you know, because I was like, oh, God, you can't tell your kids, like, some of that stuff because y'all are so young.
Yeah.
You know?
I got to sleep in your bed a lot.
Yeah, you did.
I think I slept in your bed almost every night. Mm-hmm. That probably was good for me, though.
Yeah, you needed
Otherwise, I'd have ended up with Caden and Nathan that night. You want to tell that story?
Which story is that? Like, there's so many that happened.
At the ag building.
Oh, when the dog told on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Chica was the best dog.
Yeah, she was.
Like, she was like, she let you know when something wrong was happening.
Yeah, we used to take her out, me and Caden. From that, since Caden had learned from that experience, every time we'd go out the window, Chica's coming out the window with us. And
oh, my God.
We would just walk her wherever we went.
Poor girl. Yeah, we were asleep, and it put all y'all to bed, and they had a friend come over and spend the night, Drew. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fine, whatever. And I'm awakened. I don't even know what time. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I don't even think I woke up that night.
You probably didn't. 2 o'clock, and the dog is going crazy. Well, immediately that scares me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, now I'm literally like the protector of the house.
It's me, yeah.
Yeah, it's me against the world. Whoever's coming up in this house, I'm fixing to take them on. That was not the job that I wanted. So anyway,
we didn't even have a gun. Did we?
Yeah, we did then.
Okay.
Yeah, we had one then. So and that was scary
I've never
too.
Seen that.
Yeah, that was because I kept it put up. Like I wasn't gonna have it lay it on the dresser. Anyway, so that was scary. So I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So I like walk out. Well, I see her. And she's standing there and she's happy. So I was like, okay. I don't know what happened because if someone was in the house, she'd be on their tail.
Consistent, yeah.
You know, so I was like, that's weird. So I remembered I walked to Caden's room.
Yeah.
And opened up the door and Nathan's like right at the door.
Sleep.
Like no covers, no pillow, no, just like.
Shoes on.
Laying there and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, hey. And he's like, yeah. You know, and I'm like, are y'all good? Yeah. I'm like, okay. So anyway, so when I turned around and I walked past the front door, I noticed the door was unlocked. Now, I always made sure, like, that was my job. That was always your dad's job.
Yeah.
You know, and then when he was gone, it was like, I have to take on that job. All the doors are locked. All the windows are locked. Like, everything. Door was unlocked. And I was like, that's weird. So anyway, so I went back to the room. You're still asleep. And I'm like, something's not setting right. So I go back to the room. I'm like, Nathan, yes, ma'am. I'm like, what's going on? What? You know, I remember I asked Caden, I'm like, what's going on? Nothing. We're asleep. You know, and I'm like, okay. So I knew immediately the go-to kid to get the information out of
snitch
was Nathan. Nathan was a horrible liar. Thank God. He was always going to tell that he might lie to begin with because he's scared, but then he was always coming out with the truth. So I knew if I could get him alone, he was going to tell me. Sure enough, they had decided all to leave, snuck out the front door, and went walking all through town. And the only way that I actually found out before Nathan told me is I looked on Instagram and Drew posted a picture of them standing in front of the ag building. And I was like, it's over. That's it. All she wrote.
Heck
so, yeah,
no.
they tried me.
Yeah, Nathan, man. Why you got to snitch like that?
It's just because he knows better.
No, me and Caden knew better.
No. Y'all was on a bad road to the no-no place.
Before me and Caden even got home, we had all the questions y'all were going to ask us. Mm-hmm. We had the answers for them. And if Dad tried to do that little interrogation stuff to where he was
I hated that.
Yeah, to where he was like, we're going to bring him in different rooms. Yeah. And we're going to question him.
Like y'all were all convicts.
And then he would try to be like, oh, well, Caden said that you did this. No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Why would he say
played
that?
the cop game real strong with y'all.
Yeah, when we like, why did he say that? That's a lie. I don't know why he would say that.
Yeah, they used to aggravate me so bad.
We had it down pat. We knew what he was going to go in there and do. So he was like, all right, let's do it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all are a mess, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were getting away with it up until we started getting drug tested.
Hey. You lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. And I could always tell.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, no, truth be told, I have learned so much about you.
I was going to say,
this podcast.
You were the one that was in denial. I'm sure Dad knew about it.
I don't know if denial is the word, but like, your dad, he did some naughty stuff when he was a teenager.
I wasn't as bad as Dad.
Yeah, so I always was like, don't be comparing my children
to you
and what you did. So I was protecting y'all. Like, I didn't want to believe that y'all were doing bad stuff. I mean, obviously teenagers are going to do stupid crap.
Yeah, especially boys.
Yeah. So anyway, like I knew all of that, but God, it was so hard to like digest. And he was so like matter of fact. Like they are doing it. You are in denial. And I was like, don't talk to me about my children. Like, I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah, he was right, though.
Yeah, he was right. That is for sure. I'll give him that.
So why did you start following Jesus?
Why did I start following Jesus? Well, I was raised in church.
Yeah.
From the time, all my life. Like, I don't remember not being in church.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, it's just fun. You go and you sing all your little songs and you learn about Jesus and he loves you and all this kind of stuff. And he's there and he's going to take care of you. And you sing the fun songs and all that kind of stuff, and it was fun. It's what I did. It's what I grew up understanding until I was about 12.
Yeah.
And then I watched some movie that I don't even remember what the movie was called, but I think it was made in like the late 70s or the 80s. And it was about the rapture.
Left Behind? Is that what it was?
I don't know. Isn't Left Behind like a new movie with Kirk Cameron?
I think they made both like two different ones.
Okay, well, I'm not for sure. But this one, I don't know if it was called Left Behind or not. It scared me so bad at 12. And I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, straight up, truth be told. I was like, nuh-uh, not me. My mom and dad's not leaving me here by myself to try to fend through this crazy world. It scared me so bad that I was like, okay, I have to walk this tight line.
Yeah.
I have to be like, whatever, because I was scared. 100%. It really scared me. But the older I got, I did things I didn't need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I played around with stuff and I snuck out and I was going to parties but there was always like this little like voice in my head that would be like, do you really think you should be doing that?
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's okay. It's like I'm only doing it one time. It's not going to hurt
My
anybody.
biggest mistake was letting myself think that I could repent later. That was
like premeditated
huge
sin.
Mistake. Yeah. That was and one day it hit me. It was like, man, I don't know why I'm thinking that I can just be forgiven like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know it says that God will forgive you your sins. God will forgive you your sins if you're for real sorry about it and you're really willing to change.
Repenting means you turn away from that.
Well, a lot of people seem to think it's just like I'm sorry. Slap on the wrist, go back around and do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, in that situation, I mean, you have to look at that's kind of like jail. Like, you can only do things for so long and get in trouble for so long before the real punishment comes down. And it's like, no, you're not getting away with it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scared me. And I was like, oh God. And then I went through my teenage years and I did things I wasn't supposed to do. And honest to God, like I don't mean to hurt your feelings.
Oh God.
But I didn't want kids.
Oh yeah, that doesn't hurt my feelings.
Like when I was in high school. I was supposed to be a girl anyways. Well, yeah, they got that wrong. But when I was in high school, I didn't want to. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to live that life.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a psychologist. I know.
That would be cool. It just depends on what you were going to be a psychologist for.
Yeah, I don't know. But
like
anyway,
if you were going to, I couldn't be a therapist.
Yeah.
I could not be a therapist. Well, I think I might be able to.
I don't know. You're pretty good at talking.
I think I'm really good in heated situations.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. For some reason, there's something that clicks in my brain, and I can talk 90 miles an hour and know everything I'm saying if there's like a heated situation going on.
Yeah, like adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, and then, like I said, my senior year, I got pregnant with Nathan, and it was like, okay, like it's me and him against the world. You know, because me and your dad were not together.
Yeah.
For a while, and
kids. You are kids.
Yeah, you know. And so anyway, so I was like, oh, what do I do? And you know, I always was like, I have to keep someone close to me. And that person was God.
Yeah.
You know, because I would get scared. I wouldn't know what to do. And I would have moments of, why me?
Yeah.
All my friends are out there having sex and doing whatever they want to. I'm the one that ends up pregnant.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, and then time just went on. Me and your dad got back together. And of course, he was in church. We got in church. And I wanted to raise all of y'all in church because some of the fundamentals that like Nina and Papa taught me as a kid, I wanted to teach y'all those things because they helped me.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted you guys to know. So in order for me to be able to teach y'all that stuff, I had to learn more.
Yeah, you got to know what you're talking about.
Right. You know, and like one of the things that they had told me when I was little, because I'd wake up like in the middle of the night and think I heard people like walking outside my bedroom, like the boogie monster or whatever. You know, and Nina always, the one thing that she told me that like literally stuck out to me that I told all of y'all is, you know, the enemy doesn't know what goes on in your mind. God knows what goes on in your mind, but the enemy cannot read your mind. He hears you when you talk.
Yeah.
He hears what you say. So if you say, I'm scared. If you say, you know, something bad's fixing to happen, somebody's out there, or you start freaking out or whatever, he plays on it.
Yeah.
He plays on your mind. He plays on your emotions. So Nina always told me, she's like, if you hear something or whatever, she's like, don't react. If you need to come and get me, come and get me. But more than likely, if you don't react and you just in your mind say, Jesus, 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 you'll calm down. And so there's been so many times in my life since that with your dad, you know, or y'all acting like crazy people, and that when I just come to the end of my rope, I was just all I'd have to say is just like, Jesus, Jesus, like I need to say your name. I need you here with me. Yeah. And I would just completely calm down because there can't be darkness when there's light.
I was going to say there's power in the name.
Right. You know, so when I would call, like, I need your presence right now. He would just calm me down in every situation. And so since then, it's just helped me grow in my faith with him.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's probably about where it started. It started as, you know, Father Abraham, you know, in little kids class and doing all that fun stuff to I'm scared for my life. Like, oh, I don't want to go to the no place, you know. And then as I became an adult, it became, I want to have a relationship with him because at the end of the day, without him, I'm nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And you were the prayer warrior of our family.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, you did a lot of, I remember when Dad was in jail, and I apologize for we keep talking about that, but Mom would always listen to like sermons, and she'd be in the bedroom just praising God, and we'd always be like, oh, Mom, on one of her things again. And you just be in there all the time.
That's because if you're putting something positive in to you, positive is going to come out.
Yeah, and that's how you think about it too.
Right. You know, so when I would get in those low moments, and I mean, even since then, you know, and mine and your dad's marriage hasn't always been perfect.
Yeah.
As no one is. But there have been times, like, the only thing that kept me going was the word.
Yeah.
Because it helped me. It was healing to me. It was like, hang on, sister girl. I got you.
For sure.
Don't worry about what's going over there. I've got you. And so I was able to, like, rest.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Even in the stress, I was able to rest knowing that God had me. Regardless of what was going on, he had me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say prayer is very, very important.
Yeah.
You know, and I tried to instill that in all of y'all because, you know, just like my mom instilled in me, she's not always going to be here.
Yeah.
Just like I'm not always going to be here for y'all. You know, and y'all have to like know how can I get to God right now? You know, that kind of thing. And so that's what I always wanted to show you guys was there is strength in God.
Yeah, 100%. It's all the strength.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when you're like, I'm going to die. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. You know, you start focusing on him and you find that strength from somewhere. And it just happens. Yes.
Yeah. Let you know I'm going to be okay.
That's right.
All right, 100% off topic, but who's your favorite child?
I don't have one.
All right. Let's try that again. 100% off topic. Who's your favorite child?
I could not say that I have one.
Just say it was me for the podcast.
What? That's a lie.
Just for the podcast. Just say Jansen was my favorite.
But that's a lie.
So I'm not your favorite. Dang. So is it Nathan?
No. No.
Oh,
y'all
not Nathan. So it's got to be Caden.
Oh, my God. It ain't none of y'all. Y'all are all my favorites. And you're all my favorites for different reasons.
It's Kelley.
It's Kelley. Oh, whatever. You know, girls stick together.
Yep. There you go. Kaylee's the favorite child.
No, y'all are all... You each have taught me different things.
Like
that
what?
Is for sure. Well, let's see. Let's start off with Nathan. So, Nathan taught me how to be a mom.
Yeah, that's true.
If that makes any sense.
Caden probably taught you patience.
Yes, he did. That's exactly what he taught me. Because there was more times that I can count that I really questioned God. Like, I don't know how to parent this kid. Like, he's from a different land.
That one came straight from Dad.
Like, he was a great baby. Man, he was so good. Like, he just was quiet. And, like, he got along with Nathan. Yeah. And so calm and everything. But when he was about 18 months old, that's when I knew. That's when it shined through. He was a different breed of kid. But it was him and I at home. Nathan was in, like, daycare or something.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the bathroom. So I left the door, like, cracked, you know, because he could walk. And I left him in the living room. He was sitting there and he was watching his little whatever show he was watching, probably Blue's Clues or something. And when I opened the door and walked into the hallway, I smelled this weird smell. And I was like, what is that? And so I just start like walking down the hallway, like closer to like the dining room and kitchen area. And it got stronger.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Caden, not a sound out of that kid. So I just followed my nose like a dog, just following the scent. And when I opened up the curtain to the laundry room, there he was. And he was standing there in his diaper. And he had found a bottle of black spray paint. And he spray painted my walls. He spray painted the washing machine and the dryer. It was all over his hands. And he's just standing there like, and what? And I was like, yep, it's different. This one's going to be different. And he was.
Yeah, he was.
So he definitely taught me patience. He was a sneaky one too. Mm-hmm. He was a little sneaky.
Yeah, he taught me how to be sneaky.
Yeah, you were probably the sweet one, which that's probably why we were so naive.
Yeah, I am very soft-hearted and emotional at times.
Yes. Yeah, you were the sweet one. And Kelley, she's a lot like me. She's my fighter.
Yeah.
Like her personality is, I don't care if you don't like me. You know, she's not like, I mean, she's outgoing, but you know what I'm saying?
And I really appreciate, I think it's a lot of, she grew up with 3 boys and her parents obviously, but I really appreciate her not being like a lot of this new generation that's coming up. It's so bad, and they're so, like, I don't want to say the wrong word, but wussified.
Yeah.
To just about everything. Like, life is life. We all have things we need to deal with.
Yeah.
But just acting like your life is so much worse than everybody else is just not.
No, she's not like that at all.
Way to go about it.
She's not like that at all. She's very tender-hearted too.
Yeah, 100%. She'd be crying.
Oh my God, man.
For little stuff.
Sometimes I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, especially when it comes to y'all.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like when, you know, Oakley was born or Weston was born or whatever.
Crying.
Y'all get this long paragraph. I was like, oh my God, I love y'all so much.
I'm
so glad that you're my family.
I don't know
like,
she's do without y'all.
She's so emotional when it comes to y'all.
Like, yo, Nathan just had a kid. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like, yay. You know, and she's like sending pictures of her crying and stuff. Yeah, she's real soft-hearted. But even in that, with her being soft-hearted, she's firm.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay.
She used to bully me growing up.
Yeah.
Just because she knew that I couldn't do nothing back or I would get in trouble.
No, well, she learned that behavior from Caden.
I was going to say Caden instigated it a lot.
He taught her well. I can say that.
Yeah, Caden is a pretty good leader, I would say.
He is.
He's one of those people.
He conned y'all all in the neighborhood to do all kinds of things.
I don't know about conning us. He just brought
you
it
about.
He brought it about, and we were like, okay.
You can't sit here and tell me that when it was mine and your turn to go to the jail to see your dad, and Nathan and Caden were home, it was Caden's idea to go get 4-wheelers and everything else.
I don't know. Joe and April, I'm sorry. I mean, they weren't April's, but Joe. Oh, that was so funny. I don't know whose idea that was, because I remember it was Ladarius, Howard, Anthony. They were all out there doing the same thing. They would not
have ever.
No, I'm not saying it was their idea. It was definitely either Nathan or Caden's idea.
And it wasn't Nathan's. Nathan went along with it. Caden was always the one that had the great ideas.
But, like, we even threw rocks at each other while we were riding on the 4-wheeler. They would ride by. We would throw a rock, and whoever hit them or hit the 4-wheeler got to get on next.
Yeah, I remember. And it was so funny because, like, y'all are so, like, dumb.
Well, actually, we weren't.
But no, actually you were, because like one time we were gone and he got in your dad's truck and they took a video of it.
I do remember that.
And videoed he was doing donuts. Like he's inside the truck.
I wasn't there. Woo! That was the time I wasn't there. So I think somebody videoed him and then they didn't see until Dad got out, I want to say.
We learned a lot when your dad finally got out and y'all got old enough that you weren't scared of punishment anymore.
Yeah, it was kind of like.
It was like, hey, guess what we did?
Yeah.
It's like, great.
But yeah, we did that. They used to jump the hills and stuff. I was in there. I never did that. But by the time we had it on a schedule, we knew what time Joe was getting home, and we knew roundabout what time you were going to get home. So before, like 15 minutes or so before y'all was about to pull up to the house, we done got the four-wheeler washed and put back in exactly where it was parked.
Like it was never touched.
Yeah.
Lord have
mercy.
That was dope.
We kind of got talking about Kelley a little bit, and one of the big things that's kind of going on right now with just I would say that generation and a lot of older people too is just how social media impacts people.
Absolutely.
And this was kind of your topic, so I'm going to let you start off that.
Well, I just think it's a good topic in general. I mean, social media has become such a huge thing.
Yeah.
To where we all have to have it. You know, that's how we connect to our friends and our family.
It's really how I get news these days, and that's not a good thing for me to get news like
I mean, I do look at the news when I'm at work. Like, you know, I'll check out, like, the news or whatever. But, yeah, like, it's become such the huge thing. And I think that it can be used for good, you know, because you can see like short little clips of like sermons or hear a song or see an encouraging thing. Yeah. But on the flip side, it can be so damaging.
Yeah.
Because one, it's a platform for us to all speak our minds.
Yeah.
When we want to and say what we want to, because, you know, we got freedom of speech, which is good. But some people just use it wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's some things you don't need to say, you know, and we don't have to retaliate against everybody's comment or everybody's post on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that so in that aspect, like it's gotten out of hand. You know, the other thing is, especially to me being in my 40s.
Yeah.
You know, and having a daughter that's 15, you look at so many, like, the celebrities are all over there.
Comparison. Yeah, that's one thing that I was going to say is a lot of people like to compare themselves to celebrities, and they always think, I'm ugly. I look nothing like them, and their body looks so great, and I'm over here looking like this and this and that.
And then you have girls that are like, you know, so unsatisfied with themselves that they're
it's almost like we have created this quota of what you have.
And if you're not that, then you're not pretty. And even in the same sense for boys, we have created a false sense of what real women look like.
Yeah.
And if you don't look like whoever, you know, and you don't have that shape and your lips ain't plump and your nose isn't perfect and your skin isn't perfect, you aren't the perfect female for me.
Yeah.
You know, and that has caused major issues. I mean, even myself, like, I have to watch myself because I am in my 40s. You know, I've got 4 kids, you know, and I'm like, dang, like, she's 50. Yeah. And she looks like that. Man, I need to get some Botox.
Are you talking about Jennifer Lopez?
And, like, I need like, I got stuff happening here. And, like, you start looking at yourself like, oh, my God. Like, but she looks like, she looks like that because she's got, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars put in her.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time, like, really thinking, like, when God created Eve, he thought about, like, he didn't create her like Kim Kardashian looks.
Well, it's way different in other places because I actually seen this one thing. I think it was on TikTok, but it was somewhere in like Southern Africa. They like their women like big, and like they like the men to have like these hard like big bellies, and in India, I think it is. The women have to, like, they put their feet in, like, this tiny shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And it, like, curls them up because they're in that shoe for years. Just they really like small feet, I guess is what it is.
Yeah.
That's weird, but it's just kind of how people just set this quota of what people are supposed to look like.
Yeah, and I think that's so detrimental to people. I think that causes a lot of, like, self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
You know, for women, because it's like, oh my God, you know, like, I'm not as pretty as she is, and everything's falling, you know, gravity starts pulling it down, and then you've got like, oh God, I got to go have all this surgery because I have to look like that. I have to look like that to be accepted or to be pretty or to be noticed or respected, you know, and that's so wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we should not do that. Like, God created us exactly how he wants us.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say that, like, if you want to get in the gym or start, like, focusing on, like, your weight and stuff, I'm not hating on that because...
Oh, no, not at all. Being healthy is one thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I want to get swole and shredded and stuff like that, but I'm not... I have looked at my progress, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't look at other people and then look at myself and try to compare me with somebody else. Like, one person I watch a lot is Alex Eubank, which he's another Christian. He's a fitness influencer, but he makes it known a lot that he is a Christian. But one thing that he always says is, I need everybody to stop trying to compare themselves to me. He's like, you are your own person.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to the gym, look at your own progress and be happy with that.
Yeah.
He was like, because, I mean, body types are different. Genetics are different.
Yep.
The time that you've put in is different. Just everything like that. Your eating habits are different. Everything is just totally different. So you need to stop trying to compare yourself to me. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty good word of advice because, I mean, you're not going to look exactly like somebody. No. You can only look like yourself.
And no matter, like, what you do is going to make you look like that person. And people do it. And that's sad. Yeah. Like, people will spend a lot of money to look like somebody that they idolize. And I think that's the kicker right there, is that we have idolized vanity.
Yeah.
It's vanity. It's, you know, we see somebody and we're like, oh my God, I want to look just like them They're perfect. They have 1 million followers.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even want 1 million followers.
I would.
Me and you are different.
Yeah. I mean.
But, like, I don't want to keep up with that.
Once you get enough like that.
Yeah.
That's where the money starts coming in.
And I understand that part of it, too. But, like, still, you know, and they will pay the money to literally go have their faces changed.
Done. Like, completely changed. That is, some of it, to me,
that's
personal opinion, it's ugly.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. We used to be satisfied, you know, with ourselves and the way we looked. And time is always changing. You know, every bell bottoms were big in the 70s. And guess what? They're back again.
The comb over was big
in the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
It's back now.
Yeah, everything comes around. It comes full circle and comes around. But I think that now these days, it's like one click of your phone and you can look at these girls, you know, in all these bathing suits and they're skinny and they don't have stretch marks. You know, they don't have that look and you're like, man, I really wish I was there. And I think that's where the devil can just like slide in there.
Yeah.
And be like, well, you're not pretty, you know, and you're not popular because you don't look like her.
Exactly.
And that a lot of times, especially as a female, it's hard to turn that off all the time because then you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
If I could only look like that, you know, if I could only be like that or whatever. And God doesn't want us to do that.
No, because then you're idolizing people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not. Social media, like you said, it can be for good, but a lot of it is not for good. And it makes people, I guess, think things that they really shouldn't be thinking.
Not at all.
And just overall in general, like you said, it impacts people on how they think that they should look.
Yep.
Stuff like that. It's really
or even like, okay. I'm not knocking it at all, but like influencers.
Yeah.
You know, I follow a lot of those on social media, like on Instagram and stuff. And I follow them like for different reasons. Like I like to look at what they put in their house.
Yeah.
You know, like decoration. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. You know, how they do their makeup or things like that. But something I was thinking about the other day is like, you know, these influencers, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah. So
it's like, hey, you know, like, look, we've got these, you know, you can get these handbags on sale and they're like Louis Vuitton and they're like, you know, 20% off of $5,000. You know, and I'm like, sister, like you're not appealing to
20% off.
Like you're not the most, like you are not connecting with me. No. I might like the house stuff you put in your, but they're always shopping. They're always like, look what I got, look what I got. Yeah. You know, and even that can make people like, oh my God, I've got to buy all this stuff. Now I'm in debt because I have to have all this stuff that she has.
Well, they got to realize that after a while, once you get a big following like that, they're basically getting paid to shop. Like that.
They are.
Yeah.
But Sally
I'm saying the
Joe,
people that are watching don't really think about it like that.
Yeah, but me at home working on mine and your dad's salary, if I come home with a $5,000 purse, your dad would flip his marbles.
He probably either force you to take it back. Or he
wouldn't force me to do anything. Oh. But he might have a sit down conversation with me that was like, sugar pie, we got to pay the mortgage payment. Got to take that back. Yeah. You know, but it's the expectation of unrealities, like unrealistic stuff.
For sure.
That is forced down our throats.
Yeah, I agree with that. Trying to think of anything else about the whole social media crap.
The arguing.
Yeah, so people argue back and forth on it with each other.
Like why?
That's like, I really just think that's Facebook. People on Facebook just be, especially, I hate the family Facebook arguments.
I know, right? Like just call somebody on the phone and tell them off.
And it's like y'all are going off on each other and you are blood family going in on each other on social media. Yeah. What is this?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Is that like an attention thing or what are we doing here? You want the whole world to pick sides? I think it would have to be.
Like what? Yeah, exactly. Like what is the, like pick them up,
yeah,
let's
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But we've surpassed that, and now it's just like everybody argues, or like I said, everybody feels like they have an opinion and they're allowed to talk about it. I see so many things on Facebook if I'm scrolling through, but you know what? At the end of the day, if it doesn't concern me, I'm gonna love you anyway. I don't care.
For sure,
I don't care what your political stance is. I don't care what any of that stuff. Like, I'm just going to love you because that's what I was called to do, but I'm not going to engage in an argument with you.
Yeah, no.
Because how does that doesn't even change anybody's mind about anything as arguing. That doesn't do anything.
No, the people that are looking at it sit there and look like this. Oh, look what they said. Look what they said.
Yeah. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I'm not doing that.
There's no win to that argument.
No, not at all. And really, at the end of the day, like I have more important things that I need to do.
Yeah.
Than to focus on who's arguing or what argument can I get myself into today.
One thing that I do want to say is that I know a lot of people are like, it's almost like an addiction to their phones. And like, it is so bad to the point to where I know many times I'll be talking to a friend and they are so locked in their phone that they cannot hear a word that I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And that ain't good. I would say, which a lot of people say, that when you wake up in the morning, wait an hour before you pick up your phone. That's hard to do. I would say that I don't think that I haven't done it. I need to start doing stuff like that. But you need to take time to where you're not on your phone a lot, like during the day. I have a screen time on there, and I think the most I'm on my phone during the day is like 3-4 hours, which is still, I think, is kind of a lot. But I do a lot of the editing and stuff on my phone, and I make all the clips and stuff like that. So I kind of give myself that little bit of an excuse. But for the simple fact, like you said, of being on social media, I don't think that I'm on social media barely any unless I'm posting something for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I get on it. I mean, no lie. Like, I'll have downtime at work or something. I'm like, let's see what's going on, or, things like that. So I look at it, and I'll read them. Some of them pretty fast, and I just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I'm not going to feed into that drama or feed into this or perhaps even stoke a fire. Like, I'm not going to do that.
I use a lot of TikTok and then YouTube. I watch a few people on YouTube, listen to some sermons and stuff. And then TikTok, it's mostly just, it's either encouraging stuff, like Bible people that are talking about Jesus, funny stuff, or I would say that's about it. Sometimes, like recently, I've been getting these. It's like movie clips, and then like a little phone game on the side, and it's just like a movie clip. Like, you don't get those?
Oh yeah, where like somebody like duets it or something.
Yeah, and it's just like a video game on the side, and then you're watching like the actual thing. Yeah. For some reason, they've been popping up a lot lately. I don't even like them or nothing, but yeah, it is. Well, Mom, I appreciate you coming on to the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Maybe we can do it again one time.
I hope I don't have to learn anything else about you.
You might, if it pops up into my head. I think I kind of aired myself out for all the bad stuff. I got that out of the way early. So
well, I do want to tell you something. But props to you for being so transparent. Because I think that a lot of people hide behind their mistakes.
Yeah.
And the only way that people can learn is through mistakes. They have to know the truth about those things.
Yeah, and that is a big thing of why I started this podcast. I told myself that I'm going to try to be as vulnerable as possible to everybody that watches the podcast, because I want them to know that if they're going through anything like that, that you can't make it out of that.
Absolutely.
And it's not just them.
No.
Because obviously, I say it all the time, everybody goes through their own situation.
Absolutely.
And you don't need to get down about it or beat yourself up about it. So I really want to let people know that I'm not a perfect person. I tell them all what I've done.
Nobody's perfect.
And I'm embarrassed of stuff like that. But that is what I think is what inspires people to change.
Yeah, because they know that you're real and you're not fake. Yeah. And that's, if you hide behind what you've gone through, then you don't have that testimony to tell people.
Exactly.
And with testimonies, there's truth.
Yeah.
And truth is what drives and motivates people to change.
Exactly, yeah. Yep, so that's it. I always get that. That always happens. We talk about something.
And then you just go blank.
And then it's just like,
are you eating your greens?
What's next? Nah, I ran out of my pills.
My Lord, son.
I got to order some. On the top of the bottle, it said, free bottle next time you order. But that's always false, man. I'm going to have to pay shipping or something.
Yeah, they're going to get you somewhere. They're going to get their money.
They're going to be like $20 shipping. And usually it ain't but like $5.
Yeah, they're going to do it. That's the way they make money.
Yeah, I'll just probably go to like Walmart or something, pick me up something.
Just make sure you get a good brand. You need to
be
having
good brand. I'll just look on the label and see what they got in it. I'm pretty good at buying vitamins. I have to
remind you to do stuff.
Huh?
I said you don't even live with me, and I have to remind you to take care of yourself.
You have to remind me. I take a bunch of vitamins. I just ran out of my greens lately. I take fruits.
Have you ever tried smoothies with greens?
Smoothies? No, not with greens. Smoothies are for fruit.
Oh, you can put fruit in them. Like you can get with kale and spinach and stuff like that, and it's healthy for you. You should try it.
Maybe. If it's like
it's got
doused
fruit in it.
In fruit.
You can't taste
a little
the
bit of greens.
You can't taste it. Promise.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And that would be good for you.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. I think it was a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Code Music at Whole Strength. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Spotify.
YouTube. Yeah, Spotify. Actually, I apologize. I haven't posted. I think the last one on Spotify. I thought about that when I opened up my computer earlier. I got really almost didn't get a podcast in this week. I don't know why. I haven't had a lot going on, but just haven't really felt like doing it. Which I told myself today I need to get a podcast in. So finally got one in. So. I don't know why I said that a lot.
Me neither. Because you haven't had your greens.
Yeah, okay. Code Music at Whole Strength. Follow us on the socials. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate y'all for tuning into this podcast. Go with the Lord, and He will go with you.